Have you ever wondered what it feels like to step into a world where every moment could turn into pure chaos? Imagine walking into a place where the stakes are life and death, with every eye sizing you up like you're the new prey. That was my reality on my very first day as a correctional officer. I was just a 21-year-old college grad with no clue what I was signing up for, thinking I could charm my way through. From the moment I stepped through those gates, I was thrown into a whirlwind of intimidation and uncertainty. My heart raced as I braced myself for an experience that would change my life forever. What happened next? Let me tell you, it was something out of a horror movie that I was the unsuspecting lead role. This is a story filled with laughter, fear, and more adrenaline than I ever bargained for.
You ready, buddy?
Yes.
All right, let's rewind back to 2007 and dive into the most chaotic day of my life. My first day on the job. Today, I'm going to tell a story that's both a little chilling and eye-opening. My very first day as a correctional officer at the South Carolina Department of Corrections, or SCDC. You might want to brace yourself for this one, because my first day was nothing short of crazy. Picture this: in 2007, I'm a fresh college grad, 21 years old, and while most of my classmates are landing awesome jobs, I'm here looking for anything that can help me climb any kind of career ladder. My aunt, who at the time had over 20 years at CDC, told me, "You might actually like it."
But let's be real, I knew there wasn't a chance in hell.
I apply. I get called for an interview, and they offer me the job on the spot. I'm thinking, wow, I must have impressed them. Well, more like they'll take anyone willing to step behind those prison walls. Now, let's talk about my first time going into that prison. I had the jitters, scared, intimidated, and let's add anxious and excited to the mix. All I knew about prison came from the TV show
Which was fighting.
Prisoner number 97S444, Kareem Saeed, aka Goodson Truman.
Which was fighting, more fighting, SA, and yeah, more fighting. Not the best mindset to have going into a new job.
And my first day. Absolute chaos.
It was like I was thrown into the lion's den. I didn't have any training yet.
Surrounded by inmates convicted of everything from murder to assaults. The first thing my aunt told me,
You better keep eye contact or they're going to eat you for lunch. And there I am, making sure I keep eye contact like a deer in headlights. And all of a sudden I get this headache from hell, because my eyes are now drying out from not blinking. But hold on now, because it gets crazier. About 3 hours in,
I witnessed what looks like a full-blown inmate riot. 5 or 6 guys pounding the life out of one poor soul. I spring into action, or at least I tried. I grabbed my walkie-talkie and guess what? No response.
turns out I never actually turned on my walkie-talkie. Obviously, it's not going to work if it's not turned on. Now I have a group of inmates just standing there laughing at me. Now, in the midst of them laughing, one of them finally says, "Hey, bro, don't just treat us like men, with respect, and you won't have any issues." But even after the laughter faded, reality finally hit, and it hit hard. Now I'm witnessing a group tussling, and I'm thinking that they still playing. Now that's when I hear a voice scream loud as hell, coming from in the midst of that group that I'm thinking just playing around. But this time it had a different feel. It didn't seem the same as when they were just playing. So I knew it was serious. Now, before I was able to even respond, I see one inmate jet out of the midst of that group and started running towards me. And right behind him, it was 2 inmates carrying what looked like swords in their hands. And once I realized that this inmate was running towards me, my brain just switched gears. And all I could think of at that point in time was, hey man, don't bring your ass over here. I ain't trying to be involved in that shit. Hell, they chasing you, not me. Then my brain switched gears again. I realized, well, damn man, he running to you for your help. And you did kind of signed up for this job. So you may need to try and help him, at least the best you can. Now, this is when I reached for my pepper spray. And I've never used pepper spray a day in my life. And the result of that was obvious. Because instead of spraying the inmate, I sprayed myself. So damn, now I'm the one getting sprayed with the pepper spray. And just imagine, I've never experienced that, didn't know how it felt. So I'm not only in excruciating pain right now, I can't see anything to even try to defend myself. Now, luckily, the mist from the pepper spray was still effective on the inmates that were trying to attack this inmate and me. So even though it didn't affect them as bad as it affected me, it still kept them at bay, whereas I was separated from them long enough, had enough space between me and them long enough so I can do whatever I needed to do to get to safety. So at this point in time, I'm able to keep an eye or actually take a look at the inmate because I done calmed down and everything, and I'm thinking clearly. So at that point in time, what I had to do was, because the inmate's body was limp. He wasn't moving at all. Still breathing, but wasn't moving. So I had to pull him into the sally port, because luckily I was close enough to the entrance or the exit from the actual prison dorm. I had to pull his limp, heavy body into the sally port area, whereas I was able to lock myself along with him from the guys that were trying to assault him and stab him. Okay, so now around this time is when my backup finally arrives. I swear it felt like an hour, but it was actually about 2 or 3 minutes. So we're saying that a lot of things can happen just that quick. And just that quick, a lot of damage could be done, especially in the prison setting. So after my backup arrives, which is about a good 20, maybe a little bit more people, they're now giving directives to the inmates that were doing the assaulting and basically telling them, drop your weapons, lay down on the ground, face down on the ground, put your arms out. You know, all that stuff that police, like to have us do when they harass us, when they pull us over. That type of stuff. And what surprised me about that is that they actually complied. Now, in hindsight, I realized it was a real culture shock, and that's putting it lightly. Honestly, after that day, I was ready to quit, but I still needed a job. And so I stayed. And one thing that my supervisor told me immediately after that was, because he had been in around 25, 30 years, and he said that he's never witnessed anything like that. That's how bad it was. I probably didn't do the story any justice. That's how bad it was. And what he said stuck with me. Like, hell, if you dealt with this on the first day, the rest of your career should be easy, because you ain't going to find this happening that often. That kind of stuck with me. And he was right. Now, close to 20 years later, I'm still here. I mean, not at the same institution. I've transferred to different places and moved up in rank. But I'm still in the prison setting and can honestly and genuinely state that I still haven't experienced or witnessed anything that bad. Now, just because I haven't experienced anything quite that traumatic throughout my career, that doesn't mean I don't still have a lot of crazy stories to tell. And if you want to hear those stories, make sure you hit that sub button. It's the Guardian File. Thanks for checking out the video. Hit the like and subscribe button and share it if you found the video informative or maybe even entertaining. Till next time, I'm out.